Hello and welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to start a new series of videos um, of some gameplay. And for this gameplay, I would like to use this system here called Heroes of Adventure. I already made a video about this system, but my focus were on this referee's guide because there are a lot of useful tables here. And since then, I just had a look on the player's handbook and the rules, and I thought that it would be really interesting to try it as well in a solo adventure. I could just go through the rules very briefly because all the rules can be summarized in just 4 pages, maybe two even, if we just remove some stuff that are not really necessary. But it is a D20 system somehow. We do have the D20 roles as we have on OSR systems, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, and so on. However, there is no modifiers for the attributes. The only thing that we have is dice type. So we could have agility D4 or fortitude D6, for instance, similar on what we have to what we have on Savage Worlds. So I can see in this system a lot of influence from other systems. So we have kind of a mix of D&D and Savage Worlds due to this dice type thing. There is no attributes as well. So if I go here in the character sheet, we only have skills. So we have three categories of skills. We have trait, physical, and knowledge. And agility, for instance, is a trait skill, as fortitude, as strength, as will, as senses. So and then we can just apply a die type here, D4, D6, D8, D12, and D10 as well. And we have physical skills and knowledge skills. And basically it. So when one needs to roll for something, they just use the skill that matches better to what they want to do. And we just roll a d20 plus the die that we have. If we have a die for that, we could have just 0 agility in this case, and we wouldn't roll any die, just the d20. And we need to beat a challenge number. And this challenge number is target number is something like we have in this table. So 10 is the for moderate actions, but if we want to do something that is challenging, it's 15, and so on. So it's very similar to the D&D 5e in this case, that we have this target number. We didn't have these in the old days, but now we have it. And there is this advantage and disadvantage as well mechanic in the game. So we can use these in several situations, mainly when we have a condition that could be something bad in our character. So we just roll with disadvantage, but if something helps us somehow, we can roll with advantage. So, and this is everything. We have combat is simple, is fast, is deadly too. So we roll initiative, d20 plus agility, or for monsters they have a skill die, and they use the skill die for everything. And we just have one single action. But an action, for instance, attack action, says that you can move and attack, but it's just one action per turn. per round. I'm not sure how they call it, if it's round or turn, but you know what I mean. And yeah, and it's if you reach 0 HP, it doesn't mean that you are dead immediately. After the combat, you can roll in the wounds table, and then you can have something bad on your character. For instance, if I rolled a 9, I have a broken arm or hand, and it means that I lose 1 health forever. So I just have 1 less health. Health is the hit point, the HP. And if I use something that requires my hands or my arm, I roll with disadvantage, including combat. And I can only remove this condition in the end of the adventure. So it doesn't mean that I broke my arm, so I'm going to get a full rest and I'm completely new. No, it's not true. So it's something that we will need to handle later. And for this adventure, I'm going to create 4 characters. I already did 3 of them. And the reason for that is I thought it would be really boring just to watch the whole process of creating 4 characters. However, I saved the last one for this video because I think it's a very interesting system, and one might have some interesting on seeing how characters are created. So this is the reason that I kept at least one. But if you see that, oh, I don't want to see that, so just skip to the next topic. I'm going to put that links in the video that you can just skip this. So let's go to character creation. It's very similar to Shadow of the Demon Lord. And why am I saying that? We do not roll attributes. We do not roll skills. Although we can choose some skills, most of them are already defined, similarly to what we have in the Shadow of the Demon Lord. So we need to choose a race or ancestry, and then we choose on a class, and within a class we have some careers. And this is one thing that I really like in the system, because it's not just a warrior class. You have 4 types of warriors that you can choose from. So it's good. And then you roll in some background information, and then you can have your character. So let's see. We have 4 races. We have humans, we have Northmen, we have wild folk, and we have wildlings or wildlings. I'm not sure how to pronounce this correctly, but you can see that the names are different. However, humans are humans, of course. Northmen, it says here that they are descendants of the dwarven race. So they are dwarves. They just use a different name. Wild folk, descendants of the immortal elves. And the windlings or wildlings, they are half elves. So the offspring of humans and wild folk. Humans are, I would say, weaker than the other races. So meaning that we have less skills during the character creations, in some cases even less health, and even defense. So one can see, okay, so what is the advantage of being a human in this system? And it is that they level up way faster than others. And I was thinking why they did that, because it doesn't make sense. No one wants to play as a human if they are too weak. However, it makes sense because humans does not live so much as the other races. So you have, for instance, a starting age of human is 20, but if we go to a Northman, it's 40, and a wild folk is 50. So it doesn't make sense at all if they have even less skills than a 20 years old human, right? So I understand this concept and it totally makes sense. So as your character progress, you will see that humans, they can level up way faster, and they will in some time they will have way more skills than the other races, or at least they will be as stronger as the other races are. However, the system itself, the author called the Nameless Designer, he says all the time, feel free to adapt the system, feel free to do whatever you want. So you don't need to follow exactly what is written here. Actually, the whole system is open to be used, reproduce it, and change it anyway. So you are free to do whatever you want. So if you see that, oh, it doesn't, I don't like this, so just adapt as you wish. And I already have here a human, and a wildling, and a northman. So I believe that for this one here, I'm going to create a elf, or a wild folk. So wild folk, they start with, and let me just grab some on this notepad, and then afterwards you can just put these there. So they start with health at 8. So health 8, and defense is 10. And we already start with some skills, and they are agility D4. Every time that you pick a skill for the first time, it starts at a D4. And athletics, it's a D4. Language, I'm not going to write the language here, but magic at D4 too. Ranged combat D4. And what else? Census D4. And wilderness survival D4. So wilderness D4. So this is the base. Apart from it, I need to roll twice in this, actually once in each of these tables. The first table is for the equipment, and the second table is for the upbringing. So we can have even more skills. Let's see, I'm going to roll in the first table just to see some equipment. 1 elven, 11 bread. Okay, so I have elven bread, and I can check afterwards in a separate table what this bread does. Elven bread and upbringing. Apprentice to a spell weaver. Gain magic skill. Okay, cool. So if I gain magic skill and I already have it, it means that increase the level. So instead of D4, I have magic D6. So this is good. So now I need to pick a class, and currently I have a ranger pathfinder. I have a warrior soldier, and I have a druid seeker. So I think I need to have maybe, as I already have magic D6, if I grab a magic user of some kind, it would be really powerful and really useful to this group. So we do have the mage class here, and I think this is the best for what we are looking for. And we have 4 types of mage. We have the magi, and magi, the description says, the bloodline of the elders courses through your veins. You were taken from your family at a young age to train as an initiate with a secret order. Okay, it sounds interesting. And we get some attributes and abilities too. And the ability in this case, it's rune magic. Rune magic is something that it's the like in Shadow of the Demon Lord, we have the traditions that we learn, and this is very similar to that approach. So we have this school of magic or tradition of magic, and once you have this tradition, you can cast all spells from that tradition or school, but you can only be proficient at least at level 1 in two spells, so meaning that you roll with advantage on them if you want to cast them. However, the other spells from that tradition you roll with disadvantage. So rune magic, it's one kind of magic. We have others such as air magic, chaos magic, dark magic, earth magic, fire magic, form magic, matter magic, rune magic, shadow magic, and time magic, and water magic. Let me just see here. I just forgot. I think elves they have abilities too, and I just forgot to take notes on their abilities. So abilities. Elves they have alertness. Alertness. So I have advantages on senses rolls, senses checks. Meditative trance. Once per session may rest for one exploration turn, 10 minutes, and recover D4 health. Okay, so I have this meditative trance, and it says as well that they can live up to 400 years. Okay, and mages. Mages, they have +2 on health, so instead of 8 I'm going to have 10. They have skills of lore and magic, so my magic will go to D8, so he's really powerful. And I need to add lore at a D4. What else? I have some equipment too. Initial equipment, rope, dagger, and 100 silver pieces. Okay, I can check the equipment later. Let me just pick one type of mage. Magi, I don't like it. Warlock, I think I'm going to pick sorcerer, because sorcerer can just choose one school of magic freely, and it gets alchemy and medicine and an alchemy kit, so it could be a sorcery. If I get a necromancer or witch, I get dark magic. Warlock gets form magic. And yeah, I think I'm going to get sorcerer. So as a sorcerer, I have alchemy. I need to add here. This is just temporary. So alchemy at D4. And what else? And that's it. And I need to pick a school of magic. I'm going to get fire magic. Fire magic. And for the background, I need to name my home settlement and name my mentor, and then add him or her as a contact. Okay, so let's just roll a name. We have 12 names in each class as a suggestion. It's funny because the name is suggested in the class, not in the race. But let me just get a name here, and it's 11. Willow. And we put here Willow. Okay. So this is the character, this is the elf. I could roll some kind of background information just to show you guys how it is, and it's really good. But in the end, I'm not using it because I'm going to tell you what my plans are. But let's just roll very quickly. We have a appearance table, so it says I look, and then I roll a 3, and I look slender or lean. Okay, so I look slender. It's a elf. It makes sense. Uh, and I came from 7 new centra oppressed background. Okay, this is based in a setting. We have a setting here called the Falling Lands, and I like it a lot because it's really similar to us to my homebrew setting, where magic is rare and people actually fear it, where people are living spread in a continent where they had a war, and the races, the non-human races, are rare as well because they are isolated in their forests or in the mountains. And there is this religion to complications where we have a strong church from humans trying to dominate everything, but we do have the old ways like druid circles and other minor religions. So, and this setting is really it's really green, and I could say dark as well, and I like it. So in this case, it would be a oppressed background. So we could think about what makes this background so oppressed. Um, and there is a feature table, and 11 says that you note my posture. Okay, for some reason, upright, regal, or slouched. I do not know what it means. And okay, personality. People think I am curious or inquisitive. Okay, and my ambition is, my goal in life is to seek revenge on something. Okay, and a long time ago, I made a loyal friend. A loyal friend. Okay, maybe one of these guys here. I already wrote the background for these other 3. I didn't take any notes here in the sheet, but I already have some kind of ideas of how they relate to each other. So as we have a half-elf or a wildling in the group, I would say that they could be friends. And my secret is 8. I fear something, but it's a secret. And after that, I didn't take note actually in the equipment. So I know that the initial equipment for mage is a robe. As we read, actually, we read that a robe and a dagger. However, when we pick sorcerer, he has alchemy kit too. So we have the base equipment for the class, but when we choose the career has equipment too added to it. And mages, they have by default, they have arcane magic. Arcane is not so powerful here. We only have few slots, few magic, few spells actually, arcane magic, but I always forget to take notes on it. So this is the character that we've made. So this is Willow, and as soon as I can, I will just move the information that we have here to here. So now that we have the character, I would like to share with you my plans. First, I would like to use the system. as it is. So no house ruling, just the system as it is. And the system is really good. I already showed you some rules from it and how it is simple. But one comment that I can make is that the rules are really raw. Yeah, they might need some adjustments depending on how you play the game. There are situations that you could just have doubt on how to proceed because the rules are not so clear. However, it's really similar on of to what we used to have in the past, right? Because we used to have this, okay, I do not have rules for everything, so I just need to make my own rules, or yeah, act as it makes more sense at that time. And this is something that it's written in the rules, it's written in the books, and it's so easy that you can adapt as you wish, as I already told and as I already said. But my goal is to use the rules as they are, and I'm going to use hex scroll as the base for this adventure. So there is some kind of suggestions here on how to run wilderness adventure, wilderness travel in the referee's guide, but there is no framework defined. So it says there is a weather table, really helpful. So there is a weather table. There is a list of wilderness actions such as travel, exploration, foraging, hunting, camping. Some ideas for the wilderness travel about movement and even point crawler or hex exploration. Some ideas for terrains and navigation that you should roll in to avoid to get lost. And I'm going to use these as a base, but I'm going to add more things here, because if we go to the skills that we have everything in the character sheet that are needed for it. We have skills. Oh, sorry, wrong book. So we have skills for wilderness survival that we could use. We have a lore skill that can be used too during the hex scroll adventure. Guile is the skill that we use to get information in cities. So I could use this skill in order to get some rumors or quests for our party. Traps can be used as well to run, to hunt. We have ranged combat if we use a bow or any kind of ranged weapon to hunt. Senses can be used to scout. So we have several skills here, and I see that this system could be really great to be used in a hex scroll adventure. And I already shared this reference guide in another video, but we have here a settlements table, so I can create a settlement from scratch. There are some ideas here for survival, so some tables for it. But if I go, actually, let me see. I think, yeah, now here we see this. We have adventure elements, wilderness map, and then we have these tables. So for the wilderness, we have point of interesting, constructions, geography, a lot of stuff, landmarks, terrain. So I can just use these tables instead of using other tables. So everything is here. The only thing that is missing is a kind of framework on, okay, what should I do when I move from one hex to another? How much time or how many actions per day can I make? And the book already says that we should split the day into two blocks. So it could be morning and afternoon. So we could have two actions per day. We could move, we could travel twice, or we could travel and hunt, or we could explore a hex by consuming all the two actions that we have for that day, and during the night we need to camp and rest. And I'm going to create some kind of framework such as we have in Forbidden Lands, and very similar on what we have done in the past when we merged Forbidden Lands to Tiny D6 or Advanced Tiny Dungeons. And when we have a point of interest, I can just roll here, and we have settlements tables, we have rumors, and this is great when we succeed on Gaio's skill on getting information. Maybe we can have some rumors. It doesn't mean that they are true, but we could go there, explore, and see if we find something as well for quests and adventure sites. So we can have several adventure sites. This is only one system. Everything's here. Monsters, we do have some monsters. Maybe it is enough, maybe it's not. So for the monsters, I might use my OSR books, because yeah, sometimes I feel that we need more monsters. So, but one might think, how can I use monsters from these systems into Heroes of the Adventure if they are different? And yes, indeed they are, but a very smart guy wrote this document called OSR Monster Conversion, and it is compatible with Heroes of Adventure, and this smart guy is me. Yes, I wrote this, and yeah, and I did some tests, and it worked pretty well. So I use it for these. I have some examples here in the back, and I got an owlbear from Basic Fantasy, and I converted it by using these rules. I got a lizard man from White Box, and I converted too, and even an orc from D&D 5e. I got it converted to it. So it's possible to be done. It required some work, but not so much. It can be done on the fly. As you get used to the method, you can do it really fast. So this is the idea for the next videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to start in this hex. I already have a small house. Yes, this is a house. Believe me, this is a house. This is a settlement, a village. And my idea is that this party of adventurers, they arrived. We have a C in the bottle. I know that usually for hex crawl we should start in the middle in order to explore everything. But as they are arriving to this new land, they are arriving from a small city that have a dock area, a harbor or something, and they are here to explore. Yeah, let's see what happens. I hope you like this video. I'm looking forward to do it for a long time, and I'm really happy that now I'm able to do it. So feel free to comment below with any idea, suggestions, anything. Just please comment down below and let me know about your opinions. Okay, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.